I.S.U.P.K.
Give me Isaiah 66 and 16.
Isaiah chapter 66 verse 16. For by fire.
For what?
For by fire.
For wildfire.
For by fire.
Hail and destruction.
For by fire.
What did the Lord say he was going to send?
For by fire.
Thermonuclear war. Go what?
For by fire.
Missiles, bombs bursting in air. For what?
For by fire.
God sending fire. And what else?
And by his sword.
By what?
By his sword.
The AR-15.
By his sword.
The 9mm.
By his sword.
The bump stock.
By his sword.
The Draco.
By his sword.
The AK-47.
By his sword.
School shooting.
By his sword.
Church shooting.
By his sword.
Walmart shooting.
By his sword.
Work shootings.
By his sword.
Police shooting.
By his sword.
God said he's sending the sword, man.
That's right.
We ain't killing nobody in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You look at us as we evil. The I.S.U.P.K. don't hurt nobody.
That's right.
We ain't hurting sisters. We ain't hurting babies. We ain't molesting children like your pastors.
Right.
We ain't stealing from nobody. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA ain't hurting anybody. We feeding and housing brothers and sisters. Getting our people the counseling that they so desperately need from being under the foot of our oppressor for all these centuries, man.
Right.
And the Lord said he bringing a fire and a sword to plead for who? Go on.
Will the Lord plead with all flesh?
With what?
With all flesh.
The Lord bringing a sword on all flesh. You understand? Ain't no sidelines in this Royal Rumble. If you are not Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you had better be preparing for war.
That's right.
That's what the Lord said.
That's right.
If you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you had better prepare to serve the Lord and get in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
That's what our people need to do, man. That's what the Lord bringing out. Any more on that? Keep reading.
And the slain of the Most High shall be many.
The Lord said it's going to be absolute hell, havoc, you understand? The rest of the world is going to get to live life. For once, you know what's happening right now? The Lord is so beautiful. The Lord said he's going to put it, the cup of the suffering that our people that had to drink. He said he's going to put that cup into the hands of our oppressor.
That's right.
So now, you waking up in the ghetto with bullets flying over your head, he gonna make Chicago America.
That's right.
Our slave master is going to live in Chicago.
That's right.
He gonna be in Hollywood, and Hollywood is gonna turn to Chicago.
That's right.
He gonna go to a rock and roll concert, and that rock and roll concert in Las Vegas is going to turn into Chicago.
That's right.
You understand? What else happened? He gonna go to church, and church is gonna turn to Chirac when he go in that church.
That's right.
You understand? The Lord is causing these things to happen.
That's right.
Because of the violence of what you did to a people that did nothing to you.
That's right.
Blacks, Hispanics did nothing but build and love America. And America has gave us its rear end to kiss, man. Talking about illegal immigrants. Them Hispanic brothers is picking the fruit that's in your grocery store.
Right.
You wouldn't have any food for $3 and $2 at your grocery store. You think your slave master can stand in the sun for 5 and 6 hours at a time down in Florida picking tomatoes and strawberries? They'd be massive heat strokes. You understand? Just like the Most High sent a heat wave and killed 57,000 Moabites, man.
That's right.
57,000 Chinese died because it's too hot outside.
Right.
The Lord, these other nations are not built like our people, man. They ain't built like us.
That's right.
We not all the same, man.
Right.
They can't take the heat like you can take the heat. Right. They can't take suffering and oppression the way you can. They can't take being broke and being homeless the way you can take being broke and homeless, man.
That's right.
Your slave master gonna jump out a window. He gonna fly his plane into a building if he lose his money. You understand? All right, so go back to Joel 3. Any more on that, Urash?
And for my heritage Israel.
For my heritage Israel. Start at the top of that scripture.
Verse 2. I will also gather all nations.
God said every nation gonna be attached to this. Keep going.
And will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Keep reading.
And will plead with them there for my people. And for my heritage Israel.
Go ahead.
Whom they have scattered.
For they did what?
Whom they have scattered.
The Arabs built the ships and took us into slavery. What else?
Whom they have scattered.
The Africans put us on those ships and sold us into slavery. Who?
Whom they have scattered.
There's our slave master. The so-called white man put us into slavery.
Whom they have scattered.
They've separated our people. They did what?
Whom they have scattered.
They scattered us with their religions, with their philosophies, with their Islam and Christianity and democracy and their voting and their civil rights. If it wasn't for our slave masters forcing our brothers to speak Spanish, there would be no division amongst our people. If it wasn't for our slave masters selling us, it wouldn't be no light-skinned, dark-skinned nonsense.
That's right.
That's because of slavery. It wouldn't be no high yellow and light skin and red bone or team dark skin, team light skin, mestizo, mulatto, creole. It wouldn't be none of that if it wasn't for slavery. If it wasn't for our oppressor from Spain, from Portugal, from England, from Britain, from Germany, from France. You understand? Our slave master did this to our people. The white sticks and the red sticks dividing our brothers, the tribe of Gad.
That's right.
You understand? Christianity and Catholicism and Islam and getting high, which is a whole damn religion unto itself that divides our people up. These things come from our slave masters, man.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Whom they have scattered among the nations.
Among the nations, man. We've been scattered among all nations. Take me to 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 9.
God will come.
We've been separated amongst all nations of the earth. The East Indians got us in slavery. They ruling over Trinidad. They ruling over the West Indies, man. The white man, our slave master, the British, bring the East Indians over to America, bring them over to the West Indies, and give them the plantations that our forefathers were enslaved on so that they can get all of the wealth.
That's right.
And then they turn around and look at a Benjamite brother as why is so much crime in Silas, Trinidad?
That's right.
Why is so much crime in Trivoli Gardens down in Jamaica when that was open? Then they look at black people and say, why the projects like this? Why is the ghetto so bad? Why are they killing each other after they done starved us to death and then set these heathen over the top of us? That's why the Lord is plaguing them too, man.
That's right.
Give me 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 9.
God will come. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 9. And therefore saith the Most High.
This is God speaking. We don't make this up in the UPK. We saying what the Lord said. The problem is you ain't never had a man of God teach you what God said before.
That's right.
That's why you look at the I.S.U.P.K strange. You ain't never met a man of God before.
That's right.
You used to them effeminate things sitting in your church that's half a damn homosexual dressing up competing with Big Mama for who can be the most feminine.
That's right.
That's what you used to. That ain't no man of God. Man.
That's right.
The only men of God are in the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
And if you a man of God, you supposed to be in here under Commanding General Yohanna.
That's right.
Don't fool yourself. Keep going.
Come will come. And therefore saith the Most High, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Don't you know the blood that you shed in the earth, that blood goes into the ground. That blood don't disappear, man. Just because you murder 100 million people and then bury them and build a city over the top of their bones, like how they built Washington, D.C. and New York City and Hollywood, California and Alamo, Texas, just because you're able to murder everybody, that don't mean that blood goes away. God sees everything. That's right.
He that made the eye, can he not see? You think the Lord can't see that? You understand? You're going to have to answer for that blood. You're going to have to answer for the blood that your forefathers committed. You understand? You Irish, you understand? so-called from Spain, a Spaniard, the Portuguese, the British, the Dutch, the German, the French. In order for you to be here in America, your forefathers had to murder my forefathers.
That's right.
And that blood that your forefathers spilled so that you can have suburbs, so that you can have cities and have Wall Street and have an economy and have businesses, all of the wealth that you had comes from the murder that your forefathers committed.
That's right.
And there's a price, and that bill falls in your lap.
That's right.
You understand? Just like in America's laws today, if your children die, I mean if your parents die, and you inherit the estate of your parents, and you get the wealth and the riches of your parents, whatever debt that was owed by your parents now falls to whoever holds the estate.
That's right.
And you've been left holding the estate of the conquistadors, of the Pilgrims, of the Jesuits, of the Quakers, of the Catholics, of the Rosicrucians. You holding that weight, and you're going to have to pay that bill.
That's right.
The Lord going to charge you with that. Keep reading.
Verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
Our people have been led as a flock to the slaughter. Everything is killing us.
Right.
These horrible leaders that sit over the top of black people, they led us into every trap imaginable.
That's right.
They led us into crack cocaine and heroin, thanks to Reverend I.S.U.P.K,
That's right.
an FBI agent that worked with the mafia and the federal government to flood the black community, to flood Chicago and Richmond and Norfolk and Baltimore with perks and heroin and coke and crack. You understand?
That's right.
We've been led to the slaughter and joined our slave masters military, so we end up raped and dead in Iraq.
Right.
Like that sister Lavina Johnson in the army. They gonna murder the sister, then execute her and burn her genitals up so that nobody can find out what they did to this sister.
Right.
Or the brother LaDavid Johnson that was in the white man's Green Beret Special Forces, that the white man abandoned him while he get into a damn shootout with the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and say they give the damn empty casket to his wife.
Right.
And then Trump tell his widow he knew what he signed up for. He knew what he asked for. He knew the job. Like, this is how they treat our people, man. Then they finding pieces of the brother's body every other week. They find some more bones that these damn Arabs that ripped out of this brother before they killed him. And we supposed to love America? And you get mad at Colin Kaepernick for taking a knee,
right?
And then you sell out Uncle Tom big head Negroes like damn Jay-Z gonna talk about we passed this. The Lord going to destroy America. And you Toms, your day is coming.
That's
you gonna
right.
sit at the table with your slave master while the Lord burn this house down with you inside of it.
That's right.
You gonna pay for turning on black people, man.
Right.
Y'all better repent for this evil, blaming the slave, because the slave master then put him in a condition to destroy himself.
That's right.
Keep reading.
I will not suffer them, I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt.
They ain't gonna dwell in the land of Egypt. This America we in now is Egypt.
That's right.
It's spiritually Egypt. It's built entirely on slavery and oppression and murder. That's what it's built on, man. Keep reading.
Verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand.
A mighty hand. You understand? Powerful hand. Keep going.
And a stretched out arm.
The Lord gonna stretch out. This black man talk. I'm gonna reach out and grab somebody.
That's right.
Put my hands on you. The Lord getting ready to put hands on America. You ain't seen nothing yet. The Lord gonna put hands on the Chinese,
right,
on the Arabs, on the Ethiopians. The Lord gonna put hands on everybody.
That's right.
The French, the British, Spain, Portugal. The Lord gonna put hands on all your offshore investments, all your bank accounts. The Lord gonna put hands on you. Keep reading.
And smite Egypt with plagues.
And the Lord gonna plague Egypt spiritually. The Lord going to plague America. It's going to be new diseases coming up in America. They said the shingles is back.
That's right.
Measles is back now. Right. You understand? Diseases that been thought that they were gone, they coming back now.
Right.
New super herpes is back.
Right.
All kind of madness. The Lord is plaguing bed bugs that made a huge comeback.
That's right.
You understand? Everywhere your slave master go, he's sleeping in the bed with a damn golden retriever.
That's
he
right.
is the golden retriever.
That's
bed
right.
bugs everywhere. Keep going.
And smite Egypt with plagues.
And smite Egypt with plagues.
As before.
Plagues of terrorism. Plagues of the economy. plagues in the water, opioid epidemic, terrorism, school shootings, church shootings. It's going to be plagues upon plagues, man.
That's right.
That's what the Lord is bringing to this place. Keep reading.
As before.
Just as he did before. You keep reading the Bible sitting in that Christian church thinking that the Old Testament don't mean nothing.
That's right.
The Old Testament is teaching you who the God of the Bible is.
That's right.
Everybody in the New Testament is referencing everything that happened in the Old Testament. You don't understand the Bible. You better get out of these churches.
That's right.
Keep going.
And will destroy all the land thereof.
And the Lord going to do what?
And destroy. So like, and will destroy all the land thereof.
God is going to destroy America. If you the tribe of Gad, you a Native American fighting to restore the land back to, this land is filled with blood, man.
That's right.
The Lord going to destroy America from California to the East Coast, north to south. The Lord going to wipe this all out. It's going to be nothing but desert.
That's right.
Won't be no life here. It's going to be uninhabitable. The Lord going to destroy it all when Christ comes. You better separate yourself and your love from this land, from this place, and turn back to the culture of the Most High. You understand?
That's right.
Keep reading.
Verse 12. Egypt shall mourn.
Egypt is going to mourn. Everybody going to cry when this American economy falls. The only reason that China has wealth and power is because of America's economy. That's why the Arabs and the East Indians, they eat rich off of America. And America's economy only stands because they sold black people in slavery for 400 years.
Right.
Because there's 2 million blacks in prison. Because they got Hispanics in dog cages and INS detention centers picking 90 pounds of fruit per man per day.
That's right.
To fill your supermarkets. Because they can starve El Salvador and Mexico by not letting them export their corn.
That's right.
Because they can put taxes on fruit in Puerto Rico and make a quarter banana cost $4. Right. That's why the economy stands. That is how America's framework functions.
That's right.
That's how its banks get its wealth. That's how your insurance companies are made. That's how Wall Street is run. That's how your economy, your government, it all stands on the backs of the slaves, man. There would be no Dunkin' Donuts. There would be no coffee shops. There would be no Chinese carryouts. All of the wealth that they build to make up their businesses in their countries,
right,
they build in America off the backs of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
You understand? The simple fact that they in this land make them an accessory to the murder that our slave master committed to steal this land from the Mexicans and the Native Americans. Keep going.
And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Lord shall bring upon it.
The Lord is bringing plagues on America. The foundation of America is his money.
Right.
You understand? His ability to kill. You understand? But that ability to kill ain't no good if your kid gonna go to school and kill other slave masters.
That's right.
You understand? That's a trap the Lord has set for America. Keep going.
Verse 13. They that till the ground shall mourn.
The people that's working the ground, they gonna mourn. Your crops ain't gonna grow. Farmers is already mourning because there's no Hispanics to pick the fruit on their land.
That's right.
Because silly Donald Trump did laid a trap, not realizing all of the food was coming from Issachar and Zebulon, building up and making America's agriculture great in this land.
That's right.
Keep going.
For their seed shall fail through that. Salaki, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail.
You understand? The Lord going to destroy the land, the soil, the nutrients is dried up. That's why the white man genetically modifying fruits.
That's right.
You getting fruits from the grocery store that don't even have seeds in it.
Right.
How the hell you make a something that can't reproduce itself? Right. Everything God made is supposed to have a seed.
Right.
You get seedless grapes, seedless watermelon, seedless strawberry. Like how the hell something come from nature that can't reproduce itself? Right. We eating Franken food genetically. You understand? Right. this ain't even real food we eat, man. It's like the Fifth Element. You put a pill in the microwave and it come out a damn bowl of vegetables.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
And with a fearful constellation.
A fearful constellation, man. Fear in that sky, in the heavens. That's why Donald Trump building a space military. Right. Because Christ is coming from space. You got something, brother?
I was going to say they already launched it.
Right.
Space Force, they already launched it.
Battlestar Galactica, you understand? The Dark Lord of the Sith, Donald Trump, that launched the space military, preparing you to go up and fight against Christ.
That's right.
That's what all this, everybody come together and be one people is about.
Right.
That's why God destroyed the Tower of Babel in the book of Genesis, man. You've been listening to your silly Christian preachers telling you to join all people together while they eating our people alive. They starving our people to death. They killing our people in the streets, literally. And you trying to join America and vote and be a Democrat and Republican and run for office, man. Our slave master is going into outer space preparing to fight Christ and the angels.
Right.
War in the constellations.
That's right.
There was war in heaven. And the dragon and his angels, the white man and his allies, fought against Michael and his angels, the armies that are in heaven. 200 million black men coming in UFOs. That's right. The army of heaven coming with Christ.
That's right.
To destroy America. And every government on this planet. You're not understanding. This is about to be a hostile takeover.
That's right.
We preparing in the UPK. You think you're going to have choir rehearsal when Jesus Christ comes. Right. You think you're going to beat the tambourine and do that old homosexual dance you've been doing in church when Jesus Christ comes. That's what you thinking. You understand? You got a horrible day coming. You're going to be dancing in fire. Right. You understand? You can get out of these churches, man. Keep reading.
Verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
The Lord's saying woe to the world. The people that's dwelling in the world, the Lord's saying woe to them.
That's right.
You understand? There's some evil coming. Woe is war. This is talking about World War III. That's right. Keep reading.
Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh.
The great sword is coming. The destruction. The destruction. Not any regular destruction. There's a specific destruction this is referring to. Keep reading.
And one people shall stand up and fight against another.
One people against another. What is this talking about? China versus America.
Right.
China doing military exercises. Iran capturing British ships. The British capturing Iranian ships. Saudi Arabia and Turkey beefing back and forth. Right. Iraq and Iran. America going up against ISIS. You understand?
That's right.
Donald Trump talking about bringing the Taliban, bringing Al-Qaeda to come to America to hold a damn summit meeting at Camp David, man.
That's right.
You got an absolute buffoon in the White House that is fulfilling biblical prophecy. Because this cannot be stopped, man.
That's right.
He's going to bring the chief terrorists into America to sit down on American airlines, in American airspace, and he's going to invite them to come to America. But if you black or Hispanic, you ain't welcome in America. Al-Qaeda can come to America, but if you a Mexican, you a horrible criminal and a bad dude. That's but Al-Qaeda is fully welcome to come to America.
That's right.
With a presidential invite.
That's right.
You understand? Time for our people to wake up. Keep reading. Right. Speed up a little bit, Bro.
Salakia, verse 15. Salakia, verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men.
Sedition? Who knows what sedition is? What does sedition mean? You understand? I'm going to give it for time's sake. Sedition means people are going to turn against their government. And you keep pushing. You simple as hell. You keep following these old silly politicians in office. The white man is not going to let you take his gun away. He's not going to let you make him start over at 1776. You understand? He's not going to let you take his AR-15 away. Right. Your slave master is not going to be forced into slavery. He's not going to accept that. That's why they got hundreds of thousands. I remember something like Ohio and the state of Michigan. They had 700,000 hunting licenses issued. You understand? In 1 year when Barack Obama became president. They've been preparing to go to war against their government. Every time you talk about we need to take the AR-15s away and the assault rifles. You try to take those assault rifles away, you got mobs of slave masters ready to rise up against their government.
That's right.
And it's going to happen. And in that day, black man, black woman, Hispanic, Native American, if you not in the I.S.U.P.K. to be taught and led by the prophets of the Lord, you gonna get swept up in a whirlwind of bloodshed, man.
Right.
The Bible prophesied 2/3 of our people gonna be killed when Christ returns.
That's right.
You ain't understanding the amount of hell that's coming. We've been telling you to get in the I.S.U.P.K since the 60s, and you have not listened.
That's right.
You sitting watching these videos, you sitting debating, playing games with these old fake Israelite groups in these churches, running back and forth to Egyptology and the mosque. You know good and well you watching UPK videos, all of that is a lie.
That's right.
And you need to get in these classes where that protection is, man. You need to fall in line. It's dangerous times that's coming, and it is unavoidable if the Lord is not with you. You understand? Keep going.
Khan. And invading one another.
And doing what?
And invading one another.
It's invasions everywhere. Turkey ain't going to invade Saudi Arabia, you understand? Commander General Yohanna prophesied this many years ago.
Right.
Turkey and Saudi is going to be an invasion, man. It's war on every continent. Half the countries is at civil war, you understand? Their economies are falling. Europe bankrupt. The damn Britain is separating from the rest of the United Kingdom, man. They've been fighting to get this Brexit for how many years now? Like, you ain't realizing the Lord is destroying all these world empires, preparing them to go to war with each other.
Right.
Keep going.
And so, like, they should not regard their kings nor princes.
They ain't gonna give a damn about prince, king, president, vice president, mayor, governor. They're not gonna care about no office or no politicians. Keep going.
And the course of their actions,
everything they gonna do, the course of their actions, keep going,
shall stand in their power.
And whatever they gonna do is gonna be whatever they got the power to do.
That's right.
Meaning, if you got 3 rifles and we got 100 rifles, the 100 rifles decide what's law.
That's right.
You talking about absolute anarchy, militias, private governments. You understand? All these different factions and federations. That's what the Lord is coming. He getting ready to bring America to its knees.
That's right.
All of this power, all of this freedom. You didn't raise the nation of murderers, a nation of killers.
That's right.
And you did now pass laws that they can be child molesters, that every sexual deviant can come out the closet, that a man can chop his rod off and be a woman.
Right.
A woman can chop her breast off now, pretend to be a man, and get a damn beard sewed on their face to make you think it's a man.
That's right.
Every evil and wicked thing that was in Rome, that was in Egypt, that was in Babylon, you done made America that. And God going to destroy America the same way.
That's right.
Keep reading.
Honorable Khan, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city.
You gonna want to go into Ferguson, Missouri. What did the Lord say?
A man shall desire to go into a city.
You gonna want to go to Baltimore, down on the harbor. You gonna want to go to the aquarium. You gonna want to go into a city. What did the Lord say?
Shall desire to go into a city.
You gonna want to go into El Paso, Texas. You gonna want to go to Waco. You gonna desire to go into a city. Keep going.
And shall not be able.
You ain't gonna be able to go into Baltimore. The city
right.
gonna be on fire. You won't be going to Ferguson. Ferguson gonna be on fire. You won't be able to go into this city here because some nut just went loose with an AR-15 and killed 30 people.
That's
the
right.
city is shut down.
That's right.
You won't be able to go into Paris. Some nut stormed the damn office of the newspaper and shot everybody for making a Muhammad cartoon. It's shut down. You won't be able to go anywhere. That's what the Lord is saying. The Lord getting ready to cut this empire off.
That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Ain't gonna give a damn about his neighbor. You see, Frank, how you doing? Good morning. Hello, Bob. How's the kids? How you doing? Everything all right? I saw Sharon. She's getting big. You think you gonna go move in the white man's neighborhood and have a better life than the ghetto? You were supposed to stay in the ghetto and fix the ghetto.
That's right. You
don't know how. You're supposed to get in the UPK to get training. You gonna move in that neighborhood, and you gonna be with your white woman. And George Zimmerman is going to see you and your black son with that white woman.
That's right.
And he going to kill your son, Trayvon Martin.
That's right.
You going to be in the white man's neighborhood. You understand? And in that neighborhood, you ain't going to be able to go in there. Food going to get short. Whole Foods going to close. What's that other one? Trader Joe's. With the good fresh fruits, the organic, all that's going to be over with. You going to go in the neighborhood. Ain't going to be no good morning. It's going to be, what are you doing here? Like, you going to say, hey, Bob, what's going on? Everything is all right? They ain't gonna talk to you then.
That's right.
Your woman gonna, you went and had sex with Snowflake. Snowflake, her roots is gonna come inside her. She gonna want to get away from you.
That's right.
You done went and had babies with some devil. I don't want them braids in my daughter's hair.
That's
I don't want that look. Have her looking like ghetto trash.
Right.
You gonna learn why the Lord said you ain't supposed to join another nation of people. Keep going.
But shall destroy their houses with the sword.
They gonna destroy their houses. Your neighbor gonna be running in your house with his AR-15, with his Glock with the extended magazines, his Draco, his AR pistols, his shotgun. Right. If you take firearms from our slave master, he'll run in your house with a bunch of butcher knives.
That's right.
And take everything.
That's right.
You don't believe me? Ask the tribe of Gad.
Right.
You understand? Keep going.
And spoil with their goods.
And spoil their goods, meaning take all of your goods. Just like America traveled and spoiled the Vietnamese.
That's right.
And the Afghanis, and spoiled the East Indians and flooded their land with heroin, and spoiled the Chinese and flooded it with heroin they took from India.
Right. And
spoiled the ghetto with the heroin that they took from the damn East Indians in Afghanistan and the Vietnamese. This is going to be destroyed. It's going to be absolute chaos.
That's right.
You understand? Keep going.
And for great Salakia, because of the lack of bread.
The lack of bread. Food going to get scarce.
Right.
You understand? Won't be no food. You in church beating that tambourine. A group of devils is going to show up with rifles and take all of your church rations. Grandma in the basement with the white usher gloves on and the makeup ready to give hugs. 10 Dylan Roofs gonna run in that church and take all your food.
That's right.
You understand? Pastor gonna be up underneath of the chair crying. You done been taught to love everybody. You ain't been taught what Christ said, which is to prepare for war.
That's right.
In the UPK, Commander General Yahanna prepared men for war.
That's right.
You ain't been taught that life is about war.
That's right.
You understand? You gonna get taught. You gonna be forced with an express course.
That's right.
You're going to learn. You better get in these classes.
That's
Keep
right.
going.
And for great tribulation.
Great tribulation, man. Suffering like you ain't never seen before. Keep going.
Right. Verse 20, behold, saith the Most High.
This is what the Lord is saying. Pay attention.
I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me.
All the kings of the earth going to have to recognize the Lord. It won't be no more praying to Buddha.
Right.
Won't be no more Allah. Won't be no more Rastafari.
That's right.
Won't be no more Hare Krishna. No more Shiva. No more Haile Selassie. All of those gods, their power will be gone.
That's right.
Everybody gonna know those gods don't exist when they people starve to death.
That's right.
You understand? They gonna learn that. The Bible said, I will famish the gods of the nations.
That's right.
You understand? Meaning you gonna starve to death and know Allah is not listening.
That's right. That's right.
You gonna know that Caesar Borgia, that white image of Jesus Christ you got on your wall, you gonna know that that candle to the Virgin Mary is not helping at all.
Right.
Keep going.
Which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanos, to turn themselves one against another.
They gonna all turn against another. You talking World War III, Royal Rumble, every nation against itself, man. You sitting there trying to join your slave master. If it come down to a race war, you think your slave master gonna feed your children over his?
Right.
If Trader Joe's empty out, you think he gonna split his strawberries with you?
That's right.
Serena Williams, you went and married some white man. You think that white man gonna choose your family over his family?
That's right.
You think Shamika and Kiki gonna be taken care of?
Right.
If he got to feed Amber and Bethany, you think they're gonna feed you?
That's right.
They're gonna be executing our people the way they doing now. You ain't understand what the Lord was saying in this Bible because you've been following preachers all your life.
That's right.
Keep reading.
To turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that Salakia, and repay the things that they have done to them.
Right. They're going to repay the things they have done. Ain't going to be no more peace treaties. Won't be no more, what is that? No more Geneva Conventions. Right. No more peace treaties. No more Treaty of Versailles. No more treaty. All that's going to be over.
That's right.
The Lord said He going to put a spirit. And the spirit's job is to stir up war and to remove peace from the earth. That's right. Ain't going to be no peace.
That's right.
You understand? Keep going.
Verse 21, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen.
They doing the why? Because you done harmed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
You put them in places to live with mold in the walls, with lead paint. You poison the damn air in the area where we have to live.
That's right.
You poison the water. You understand? You destroy the schools.
That's right.
You destroy the community with poison. You spray chemicals so the damn trees and the grass don't grow in the ghetto. You understand? Keep going.
So will I do also, and recompense in their bosom.
The Lord say He gonna pay you back in your bosom. That's your chest. That's black man talk, meaning I'm gonna put it in your chest.
That's right.
That's what the Lord is saying. Keep going.
Thus saith the Most High Power. This
is what God is saying. God's message ain't about love. God's love message is for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Everybody else, it's time for you to get a beating from the Lord.
That's right.
We've been getting beat for hundreds of years. It's time for y'all to take a beating. Our beating is over. Keep reading.
Verse 22.
Oh, that's it. That's all we needed on that, man. That's what the Lord once brought out. Why are these things happening? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. You hold that. You give me Micah chapter 2 and verse 10 real quick. We'll wrap these two up one time.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Meaning we was going into a house of slavery on cargo slave ships. Right. This is the prophecy of the identity of so-called African Americans in the Bible. Right. You understand? The rest of the prophecies confirm the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. These are our people, man. But this is the biggest and the most well-known identifier as to who these people are. Keep going.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Keep reading real fast.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
The Lord said we wouldn't see our homeland again. That's why black people think that we come from Africa. Our homeland is in the Middle East. Right. Keep going.
And there ye shall be sold.
And in that land where we got off those ships, in Cuba, in the Dominican Republic, in Haiti, in the West Indies, in Brazil, in Mexico, in Panama, you understand? In Colombia, down in South America, in Venezuela, in New Orleans, in Richmond, in Portsmouth, you understand? In Baltimore, in Mississippi, in Alabama, Georgia, Charleston. What happened?
Shall be sold unto your enemies.
Unto who?
Your enemies.
Your slave master.
Your enemies.
Our oppressors.
Your enemies.
Donald Trump.
Your enemies.
Andrew Jackson.
Your enemies.
George Washington.
Your enemies.
Ulysses Grant.
Your enemies.
George Bush.
Your enemies.
Your enemies, man. That's who we were sold to. And to this very day, we are still in the hand of our enemies.
Keep reading.
For bondmen and bondwomen.
For bondmen, a slave man and a slave woman. You think our Hispanic brothers are not Israelites, man. There's a reason that only Hispanics is in INS detention centers.
That's right.
It's because they being sold for bondmen and bondwomen. The same way we were sold, man.
Right.
Keep reading.
And no man shall buy you.
Old Quaker English, no man would free our people, man.
That's right.
Keep reading. No, Malak, go ahead.
Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
The Lord is saying for us to depart. Take our soul and spirit out of trying to join America, man.
Right.
Just because you light-skinned don't mean that you white.
That's right.
You speak a white man language don't mean that you white.
Right.
That's the language of our slave masters. You not them conquistadors from Spain because you got straight hair and you got light skin. You are a light-skinned, straight-haired black woman.
That's
and
right.
America know that. That's why they putting us in dog cages. Hispanic sister, Cuban sister, Dominican, Puerto Rican sister, El Salvadorian, Guatemalan sister.
That's right.
You a black person. The earth understands that. That's why they treat our people the way they are.
That's
Time
right.
for you to join back with the rest of your family, brother.
That's right.
Sister. You understand? Keep going.
For this is not your rest.
This is not our rest, man. America is not our rest.
That's right.
This is not our home. We weren't born here to be a part of America.
That's right.
You understand? No amount of sports or boxing, none of that is going to help us join America. You done found out the NFL owners still despise black men.
That's right.
The NBA owners despise black men. Donald Sterling, the president, despised blacks and Hispanics openly. America joined behind them and despise our people. You know the Chinese man in the carryout can't stand you. You know the corner store man can't stand you.
Right.
Everybody come to America, they set them over the top of us, and they look their nose down on our people.
That's right.
As if there would be an America for them to come and get rich in, if we didn't do 400 years in slavery, man.
Right.
The Lord said this is not our rest. Keep reading.
Right. Because it is polluted.
It is polluted, man. This land is polluted with blood, with bloodshed, with murder, with kidnapping, with sexual abuse, you understand it?
That's right.
With theft, with lies.
Right.
This place is polluted. God going to destroy this place. Keep going.
It shall destroy you.
It is destroying our people. Trying to be an American is destroying our people. Right. Following the culture of our oppressor, of our slave master, has destroyed black people. Right. You understand? Smoking crack and heroin and cigarettes has destroyed our people. That is our slave master's culture. Tattoos, being a gang member, being a shooter, being a mobster, being a dope dealer. That is the culture of our slave master. Right. Being a homosexual, a child molester, being a man in a dress, a woman acting and dressing up like a man. That's the culture of our slave master. Telling a man he can't have more than one woman. That is the culture of our slave master. Telling a woman she can do bad by herself. She don't need a man. Well, what you gonna do if the city flood and you get trapped in the damn Superdome with a bunch of damn men?
That's right.
You and your daughters and your loud mouth. What you gonna do then?
Right.
What you gonna do when our slave master roaming the streets snatching up little girls and sisters left and right?
Right, man.
Since you don't have a man. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. That's the culture of our oppressor. That's not what God told us to do, man.
That's right.
And with that, we are the I.S.U.P.K, man. Precinct Officer Dr. Shah. You understand, out of Norfolk, Virginia, man. Shalom.
When nowadays I work hard on the job, till I come cross still like I'm a criminal. Trying to get caught, it could be your first charge. Like, man, you ain't getting the minimum. It go dip, squat, 5 mile run, push, pull, sit on, goddamn, strong. Looking at my baby, trying to keep them doing wrong. It's too long before they grow. I can't leave them on their own. They killed Daddy like he had a 30-day case. The news covering up the story for what they say. It took me back to the time we lost Otis. Pretend these crackers, they gon' tell you something bogus. And I'm thinking like, damn, what you tell the kids? We try to put up a fight, but did we fail the kids? Cause they really got us looking like no damn good. And why success got to cost my manhood?